Just going to do some more example problems. So these two problems are paired together because some of the information is the same, but some of the information is very different. So here, we're given that A and B are parallel. I would strongly suggest that you use a pencil for this because you're going to erase parts of it. So those two are parallel. Measure of angle 2 is 67. And the measure of angle 10 is 120. We want to find the measures of angle 7 and angle 13. So the question on this so angle 2 and angle 15 are corresponding angles. And angle 2 and angle 5 are also corresponding angles. But only one of those two angles is the same size as angle 2. The question is, which one?
5.
Why is it 5?
Because it's crossing the two parallel. The transversal is crossing the two parallel lines.
Yeah, we want the transversal to cross the parallel lines. So this angle will be 67. And so angle 6 is 67. And then we'll do the same thing over here. We want to get from the angle measurements up here where C and A intersect. We're going to use the 120. So angle 14 is 120. So because 13 and 14 are what kind of angles? That's how they're related. What type of angles are they?
Linear pair.
Linear pair.
Oh, I do that.
So this is 60. Now, the next problem, much of that is the same, but not quite everything. Let's erase. And we're going to change only one thing. The only thing that changes is that we're given now that C and D are parallel. So again, angle 2 corresponds to angle 5 and of course it corresponds to angle 15, but which one is it going to be congruent to? 15, because we have to go across the parallel lines. So this time this angle is 67, making angle 16, or 13 rather, 67. And then to find angle 7, we can't use angle 2 because if we went this direction along D, we would not be crossing parallel lines. So we want to go this way. If this is 120, then angle 6 is also 120. Using a linear pair, we find that angle 7 is 60. So the moral of the story here is you got to pay attention to which lines are parallel. Questions about that? All right. Let's look at another proof. So on this one, it's a similar diagram, but we've given you way more choices. And honestly, more choices make things more difficult. If you want to make things easier on someone, don't give them a ton of choices. So here I've got that R and S are parallel, and that T and V are parallel. All right, I'm going to do this as a flowchart proof. You can do it as a 2-column if you like. T and V. Sorry. There are a ton of correct ways to do this proof.
Yes.
There are more than that incorrect ways to do this proof. Also, yes. So, how do you decide what you want to do? Well, I eventually want to end up with angle 12 and angle 7 are supplementary. So what I do is I go, okay, from one of these two givens, it doesn't matter which, I need to get that either 12 is supplementary to something or 7 is supplementary to something. I usually start with the first one and see, okay, if I know that R and S are parallel, can I say that angle 12 is supplementary to something or that angle 7 is supplementary to something?
12.
And I could do either, couldn't I?
Yes.
Yeah. But since several people said 12, let's start with that. What is 12 supplementary to?
15.
15. Angle 12 and angle 15 are supplementary. How do I know that?
Same side interior angles theorem.
Very nice. Same side interior angles theorem. What's the problem with that? Well, I don't want 15, do I? What do I want? 7. It would be nice if I could replace 15 with 7. That is, use substitution.
Yes.
Well, what kind of angles are 15 and 7? Corresponding. So they're going to be congruent because I know that T and V are parallel.
Yes.
So angle 15 is congruent to angle 7. And my reason for that is the corresponding angles postulate. Remember, that's the only one that's a postulate, is the corresponding angles. Now, we can substitute and say that angle 12 and angle 7 are supplementary by the substitution property. Remember, when you're doing the substitution property, do not write just SUB. You're welcome to abbreviate, but SUB could be the subtraction property, which is a real property. Okay, any questions about that? So when we go over some of the proofs on Monday, I may have done it one way, you may have done it another way. This isn't the only way to do this. There's, I don't know, probably 40 different right ways to do this. Now, some of them are longer than other ones, but I could have started out with angle 4 and 7 are supplementary. Or if you want to be, weird about it, you could say 12 and 10 are supplementary because they're a linear pair, and then go 10 and 15 are congruent and do a substitution, and then 15 and 7 are congruent and then do another substitution. There's lots of ways that you can do this. Okay? All right. Let me give you your